What's up, y'all? It's the Grateful Ambassadors. I'm Super Miles.
He did Toshi Yosuke.
And today we're going to talk about Saban's Power Rangers.
I hate you.
What a bet.
About how that joint was a piece of shit.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so...
This is about to be a different opinion type video, huh?
Different opinion.
Mm.
You have a different opinion?
I liked it.
Wow. I did not.
I really liked it.
All right, well, tell me why you liked it. And I'll tell you why I didn't.
Why I liked it. I mean, this goes back to the conversation we've had before. I take it for what it is. Because, I can go back and if I was to look at the old Mighty Morphin Power Rangers now. Because I've always criticized about some of the dumb stuff, fucking the backflips and they look like they're clearly wearing cloth and they get cut and sparks come off and I'm like, I don't understand. The fact that every time an explosion happens, it always happens behind them, but they do a backflip towards it.
That's about right. That's about right.
And I'm always like, and they always, which was always dumb to me. Now,
It was great.
so, it was like, and then, every episode used the same formula, They fight, whoever it is, he manages to beat their ass the first time. They fight him again, whoop his ass. Then he gets big, then they gotta get in the Zord, whoop his ass. Game. That's the episode. And that's
Simple formula.
Yeah, simple formula. That was it. So, I was just like, if this is what this movie is about to be, I'm hoping it's not. Now, don't get me wrong. At the same time, I can look at the movie and be like, there are some things I didn't like. For one.
No, let's keep on a positive tip.
Well, yeah, sure. Okay. What else did I like about it?
I liked the actors.
Yeah, I like the actors.
I like the actors. I think they did.
Actors for it.
They did their jobs.
Yeah.
And I would love to have seen them. Like, I'm not saying I wouldn't like a sequel, but what the sequel has to do is exactly what I'm going to talk about. So, other than that, did you like the Zords?
Yeah, I like the Zords. To me, the CG was on point. Whatever they put in there, it was on point. It wasn't bad animation at all.
I like what they were going for with Rita.
Yeah, I did like what they were. And it kind of opened it up a little bit different with the story because, the whole her being, she used to be a ranger, used to be the Green Ranger and shit like that. And it was like, nigga, what? It was different. It was different. I was like,
It's nothing saying that she never was.
Huh?
I don't remember anything to say that she wasn't.
Yeah, I don't either, but I don't remember anything saying that she was either.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Them making that, it's not like, oh, this is how it happened. It wasn't like...
Yeah, so, it didn't give you that type of thing of like, oh, they're doing it wrong. It was
Yeah.
like, it was... to be honest, how many Power Rangers we got? You had Mighty Morphin, you had them in Space, Turbo.
There's a lot.
There's a lot of Power Rangers. It's still going right now.
There's over 20 years of Power
Rangers. And the teams have switched up multiple times, all kinds of stuff. At the end of the day, since they got rid of Tommy and, the Green Ranger, it's always been the Red Ranger that's always the strongest Ranger. He's the leader of the Rangers, whatever.
Which made a great, mini arc of, Tommy versus Jason.
Yeah.
Who should be the leader.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah.
It brought something new.
Yeah.
It's a nice little conflict within the series.
Mm-hmm.
But, so, whatever. But, yeah, no, for the most part, I enjoyed the movie. I had a good time with it.
It wasn't god awful.
And I like the cameos that they decided to do at the end. Tommy and what was the other girl?
Kimberly.
Yeah, I said Tommy.
And
Kimberly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, yo. That's right.
Yeah, man.
Come on, man. Everybody wanted Amy Jo.
Oh, she is a saucy mama.
It's been a minute since I've watched that movie, okay? So I don't remember who all was in. I don't remember everything. I remember when the one character died and the way that they brought him back or whatever was, what's his name?
Think.
Big guy in the wall.
Zordon?
There you go. That guy. Yeah, him sacrificing, coming out.
Who
of the
are
wall.
you?
Like, like I said, it's been a minute since I watched it, and I wasn't like, I fell off the Power Ranger train. Pretty early actually. Like after Mighty Morphin went off.
Before Mighty Morphin went off.
And they started doing
Ninja.
No, not even Ninja.
I mean, they did Turbo first.
I didn't get that far. It was Turbo first,
and then they.
I think I had the one. I had the game. I had Power Rangers Turbo. I had a game on PlayStation, and that was like the last time I really involved myself with Power Rangers. Because then they came out with In Space, but by then I stopped caring because I had more important shit to watch, like Digimon. So.
Well, see, here's the thing.
But go ahead.
I mean, if you want to talk about the show, I mean, I'm gonna tell you like this. If anybody knows me, they know I wear black a lot, and black is my favorite color.
Okay.
The reason black is my favorite color is because the Black Ranger was my favorite Ranger.
He was black.
Well, it wasn't just because he was. It wasn't because he was black. It's because he was cool. Okay. All right. And he was the Black Ranger, so he was my favorite character, and I always wanted to be him. So I used to always, and he always wore black because they always wear their colors. So I wanted to always wear black.
It made sense.
All right. So I was a huge fan. It's one of the first things I got started on. We used to have the VHSs of all the episodes, so we used to watch that shit all the time. And I had no problem with the formula. Okay, you had it was simple, like you said. They come in, they fight the baddie, he gets big, they get their Zords, they fight the baddie, they win.
Dumb enough, we made it simple enough. We made this shit real fucking simple.
It's not hard. And throughout the show, they get into little real shit, like being a teenager and all that, and like dealing with bullies and like teamwork and right. They did all that, right? So then we get to this movie, which they stole two other movies. They stole from Chronicle, and they stole from The Breakfast Club. That's what this movie was. This was Power Chronicle, Breakfast Club.
Part about Chronicle.
Okay. The beginning. So if you haven't seen the movie, it starts off with them all like they were all
you're talking about the way that they get there.
Yeah,
it was.
So they found the power coins through through happenstance. And then like they wake up and I'm super strong, I can jump really high and all this other shit. And it's just like, guys, it was in the fucking intro, okay? All he said was, Alpha 5, find me 5 teenagers with attitude. Alpha 5 is the one who found them and gave them the power. They didn't have to discover it. And that's what that's my problem, because they spent the majority of the movie like trying to like discover things, like they had to find the power coins, they have to like find out how to use the shit, they have to find out how to put their suits on, and it's like through the power of fucking friendship. And I'm like,
power of friendship,
right? That bullshit. And it's like, no, they should just be able to use it, and why not? And then they like take away like staples of the show. Like, who was one of their biggest villains who they used to fight all the fucking time? Goldar. He was an actual, like, person. Okay, like a monkey monster, whatever.
I don't remember what I just remember he had like a Z thing on his head.
He was,
wore a crown. It had
no, that's Lord Zed.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah.
What the hell
so,
Goldar?
Goldar was the monkey, like, flying monkey type dude monster, and he had like gold armor, but he was like purple or blue or something like that. And he was like one of Rita's like top like what's names, which he was also they both work under Zed, but like he was like one of the main like underlings.
I don't know how to put this, but kind of a big deal.
Zed to me just looked like
Zed had like the brain coming out the thing.
Shredder.
Yeah.
It looked like an undead Shredder.
But him, who was, like I said, one of the biggest parts, like he's one of the people who fights them before they do fight a big bad or fight him. Him and Scorpina, I think that's her name. So for them to take, for one, his character out was real bad, because then they got Rita like messing with them and like doing genjutsu or whatever after like trying to get the Pink Ranger to do what she wants, and I'm just like, this is pretty much unnecessary. Like she's a threat, and the biggest reason she's a threat is because she has all these monsters at her disposal. Like that's supposed to be what Power Rangers was about. So them like thinking like, and then it kind of been, they made it this prophecy thing too, to like, oh, if she gets this thing from this location that we don't know where it's at, like if she gets it, then like that's it for us. Like the world is a wrap. And it's just like, I wonder where this place is. You know, it could be this place that we just keep visiting for some reason. I don't know. It's so fresh in there. It's just like this smell that just comes from it. And then there's this light that says like, yeah, come on in. Yeah. Fucking Krispy Kreme. The Krispy Kreme was built on this for some I don't even know what the fuck. I don't even remember what it was that she was supposed to get from it. But she gets in there, and then she gets her she gets whatever she get, and then she comes out and she's like, all right, now time to like wreak havoc. And it's just like, okay, well then now here comes the big Zord battle for some reason, which they at first didn't like. One person, like the guy who's playing Zack, who's Asian for some reason, he goes and he takes the
Think. Fuck you think.
fuck, what's it called? Damn, it's called fuck.
Stop telling me to think.
Whatever, the elephant type joint. He takes that it's called the Mastodon. There you go. He takes the Mastodon, he takes it out for a joyride, and he can't really control it. He's basically like, you know.
Yeah, because he can't use the suit.
Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah, what exactly? So then he takes it out and he's like, yeah, I can barely control it. And then he brings it back. And then it's like, all right, well, now that y'all like got y'all suits and still don't know how to control the Zords yet, time to use your suits and control the Zoids to go fight Rita. And for some reason, everybody else can just pilot their Zords with no problem. And your girl has a freaking pterodactyl and she can fly it with no training. It's crazy. So, yeah. So then they go out and they fight, and then it's just like, well, they have to save everybody from Goldar, because they don't even have like real putties. The putties are rock monsters for some reason. Like, of course, another one of the staples of the show, the putties, they're not even there. Like, they're fighting rock monsters. And I'm like, why? Why change that? There's no point in changing that. So, yeah. So they just keep away from things that's like we said, it's a simple formula, but it works. Like, they fight little putties, they fight the monster gets big, and they fight the big monster. But instead, they fight rock monsters, and once again, at the end, most of the time they do, like, visual training or whatever, and it can still hurt them. And it's just like, why do all this training stuff when it could just be out in the field fighting putties? Then you can get your experience. You can get their ass kicked by some putties and then come back and be like, damn, we really need to like come together and fight together and blah, blah, blah. That would have been a lot better than them going through this whole thing of just training and then finally just thrown out into the final battle in like 20 minutes. So it's like you sitting there the whole movie just like, well, goddamn, are they going to fight some real people yet? Like, it just felt like they just held up the whole movie just for this like character arc thing, which is, like I said, the Breakfast Club shit. And it's just like, damn, like, all right. And then you sit there and you finally get to it, and the shit is just like that. And even the big fight, the big robot fight, they were like getting held back, and then like fires getting put out, and then Kimberly's like about to pass out and they're like fall into a hole and then they come back out and they're like, yeah, we push back and then it's like over. They didn't even bring the sword out. So I'm just like, well, I don't remember. So I'm just like, all right, well, what the fuck did I just watch? Because I could have just watched Power Rangers again. And for the movie, like for the promotion, they put the Power Rangers marathon on Twitch. And I remember everybody was watching that. That shit was big. Like, I left it on my TV. So it was just like, yeah. After you watch it again, like, watch the series, like, yeah, you know, like, it's over-the-top craziness. But then you like, I'm alright with that. Sometimes you want some over-the-top crazy shit. But, you know, that's how it goes sometimes. But if you take away from something that has been going on for 20 plus years and say, all right, well, we're going to do something, like, drastically different. But it's not that much different because you stole from 2 other movies. So I'd rather watch those 2 other movies and watch the fucking Power Rangers show. So yeah, that's how I felt. Like, I would love to see a sequel because hopefully they get into that shit of Tommy versus Jason.
They brought Tommy in there, so
that's what I'm saying.
I was hoping that they did. But...
Nah, they brought him in at the end.
I mean, I'm hoping that they try to do a sequel. Same.
Oh, I think they already approved for it.
You know, like, you know, we gonna bring the White Ranger in here.
Yeah,
the Green Ranger. We gonna do Green Ranger. I hope so.
Yeah, because I think they was waiting for after their deal was done because now they got they own G.I. Joe too. I think, or is G.I. Joe Transform? I think they all together, G.I. Joe, Transformers, and Power Rangers. So I think they might do a real big crossover. Who knows? But I think there's definitely a sequel in the works, and hopefully they get back to the simple formula because it's not, you know, it's not that hard.
William, here is the technology.
But yeah, so I mean, those are our thoughts on Power Rangers. It's like half and half. Like it's not awful, but it's not good either.
Man, look, I had a good time when I watched it at the movies. Now I didn't buy the DVD or nothing like that to watch it again because I couldn't see myself watching it a second time. But I did enjoy it for what I saw. You know, it was like, you know, this is them trying to modernize Power Rangers for this new generation of kids, basically. You know.
Modernize? How can you modernize something if you're using the old material?
I mean, they switched it up somewhat. You know, the way that they did it. And yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, you know, why do it like that? Well, because, you know, they got to make it believable in some type of way. Like, I mean, you know, we can't just jump in there. Like, all the Power Rangers episodes, like I said, use the same formula, but what, the episodes was like, what, 25 minutes, 26 minutes long? Each episode or something like that. So, you know, of course they just run it through the same formula. They just gotta keep it going. But, you know, now it's a movie, so we gotta make it broader, you know. This girl's, she's possibly gay, so, you know, that's why she's so aggressive. And she explains to them after they form this bond or whatever. And, like, what else was an issue? I don't remember what all their problems were, but it's like they're teenage, and of course, like I said, they're trying to deal with modern day problems because this is, you know, a modern day. You know, these are types of issues that kids have. You know, being gay or getting bullied, or I don't know what I want to do with my future.
I'm 8.
And,
yeah,
you know,
I mean,
the one kid that's a nerd and he just never had friends, and so he feels the closest bond to everybody because you guys are the first time I've had friends, and it's like, you know, they want to address that.
Yeah, but they didn't have to spend as much time on it. Like, I get you. I mean, like that's, but no. See, I'm not mad at that. That was fine because it also let the actors show a little bit of their range too. So I'm not mad at that. What I'm upset about is that it felt like a whole nother movie starting off. Like, it felt like Chronicle when they first found their powers, and then it felt like, well, it still was when they were doing the training. Like, when they're doing Power Ranger stuff, it's Chronicle. When they're doing, like, character stuff, it's The Breakfast Club. And I'm just like, I'm sitting there the whole time, like, can we throw some actual action in here? Because right now, they're just doing training. Like, that's what they're doing. They're doing training, and they don't get the suits yet. When you watching Power Rangers, you waiting for them to throw on the goddamn suit. Okay? Like, yes, I can watch them fight. I can watch the characters fight for a little bit. But I'm waiting for them to throw on the damn suits.
On the suit.
And it can always be a fight before the big fight. And that's what we're missing. Like, I'm like, goddamn, how long until we finally get into it? Like, I want to see, if it's an action movie, I want to see some fucking action, some real action. So, that's my problem with it. It took a long time to get there, and they really stuck on the stuff that really shouldn't have been. Like, it should have just happened. Like, oh, she's this, she's that, he's this, he's that. Boom, over. Fine. But, goddamn, like, they held on to it a little too long. So that's where I'm like, all right, yo, like, get to the point. That's kind of, that's my biggest thing about Power Rangers. Get to the point, okay? Get to the action. And actually have them fight somebody. Instead of rock monsters and a fucking monster made of gold. And that's it. Like, she made it seem like, yeah, I'm a summon Goldar. Like, they like, oh shit, that might be a problem. And then it's just...
It made Goldar seem like he was the end-all be-all, boy.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, oh shit, it's Goldar.
Right. Yeah. So, Power Rangers needs its cheesiness. You know what I'm saying? That's what made it fun. Especially looking back at it. Like, if you seen the marathon, what was going on, and you were like prepared for it, like, yeah, I haven't seen this in a long time. You just see them with their dumb jokes and their cheesiness and over the top shit, and it's real enjoyable. So making it modern or like trying to make it too realistic, I think that's where it suffered from. Yeah. But yeah, that's Power Rangers, and Mike's not paying any attention.
You see me seeing you ignoring me, motherfucker.
I'm sorry.
He's a piece of shit. That's all it is. Okay, you're supposed to be serious, you know.
I mean, serious.
Doing a video
I said my
right
piece.
now.
Okay, I said my
Okay,
piece.
and
Like,
then you just, you know, so rude. What the fuck?
Ah man.
Oh my god.
My bad.
So yeah, thanks for watching. You know, share, subscribe, like, comment, do all that good stuff. We appreciate you. See you next time.
All right.